After the massive success of Marvel's Spider-Man 2, I wanted to look back at the game that actually started off this superhero genre of amazing AAA blockbuster superhero games in the Arkham franchise. And I want to get some clarity of what is going on with the Batman Arkham series. So what's coming up right now? Well, on the 1st of December, we are getting the Batman Arkham trilogy on Nintendo Switch. And what this shows the world is that the Batman Arkham trilogy can still sell, and they can still capitalize on these old games. But what's even more interesting is that there was a suit leak for the Batman Arkham Knight game on Epic Games. The suit was from Robert Pattinson's The Batman, and it was leaked on the PC version of Batman Arkham Knight on Epic Games. The suit was then quickly removed, and it looks like the suit will be coming to everyone pretty soon. And it's crazy that we're getting a new suit update for an 8.5-year-old game. This again shows that yes, the Batman Arkham games of the past are still very popular. So what's coming in the future? Well, we know that the Suicide Squad is being set in the Batman Arkham universe, and it will see the return of Kevin Conroy's The Batman. This is the same Batman from the Arkham Knight games, and the story actually takes place after the ending of Batman Arkham Knight, after the Nightfall Protocol. So we will finally get a sequel of sorts to the Batman Arkham games. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is being scheduled for release on the 2nd of February 2024. And although it will be a story game, it will still be a live service game, a games as a service. And the most popular example of a recent superhero games as a service game is Marvel's Avengers, which unfortunately flopped, even though I personally really like the game's gameplay, but I didn't give them a single penny in microtransactions. So if we look at the unsuccess of Marvel's Avengers and look at how hard it is to get a games as a service title to be something that is played and accepted by the gaming community, it's not looking good for Rocksteady's next title. And I think they know this too, and what tells us that they know it is the fact that this game has been delayed a couple of times. They've had fan feedback from the latest gameplay trailers and reveals, and after that was released and after they got all this social media attention, they delayed the game. And they've been working on this game for nearly 10 years. So to have it flop and be a disaster will be very unfortunate for the team. However, like I said, the game will be a story game, and the game's events will be canon to the Batman Arkham universe. So we could see most likely the conclusion to the Batman Arkham character. But what's beyond Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? Well, we can't talk about the future without mentioning James Gunn, who is now in charge of DC Studios. And James Gunn has mentioned that he would like to connect the games universes potentially to the movies. Now, the way I think he would do this is through the multiverse, and that kind of means everything is canon. Or perhaps he could be very literal with this, which I don't think is the case because game development takes a long time. And to kind of schedule things and make sure everything is working in a continuous system and has that steady flow of content and is all linked at the same time, make sure everything lines up, it's very difficult to do with the movies alone. And James Gunn is already juggling TV shows and movies for the new DC universe. So I highly doubt he will connect video games too. However, James Gunn did cancel a lot of DC shows on CW and a lot of DC content that wasn't going to be received well, like the Batgirl movie, which he didn't want to put out there because of the quality standard he now has for the DC universe. But even if he has looked at Suicide Squad's Kill the Justice League and he didn't really like it, it's hard to cancel something that's been in development for 9 years and is almost ready for release. I think we've seen this with the Blue Beetle movie, the Flash movie, the Aquaman movie coming. He can't just cancel these projects because they're so close to release and they've already put millions and millions of dollars behind them. So what James Gunn is doing is letting these things get their releases, and by the time 2024 and 2025 come around, the new DC universe would have started with Creature Commandos. And we also know James Gunn is giving way to Elseworld movies and TV shows, and the future Batman Arkham games, the Arkham universe, the Arkham reboot will take place in the Elseworld section of the DC universe, which I think is why he would say that the games are connected via the multiverse. So don't expect the next Batman Brave and the Bold movie to have a spin-off game featuring the Batman of that movie. However, hopefully after the release of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, expect the future DC games to reach a higher standard that James Gunn and Warner Bros have signed off on. We gotta talk about Warner Bros games and Warner Bros itself, because Warner Bros has been in a very weird position. And there's been numerous times over the years where there have been reports that Warner Bros want to sell off some divisions, including the gaming division, including studios like Rocksteady. There's also been some reports that Warner Bros might want want to license out the DC franchises and IP to other game developers. And now there's even new reports that Warner Bros. Are expected to sell the DC universe to Universal within the next 2 years. So James Gunn might be gone before they're even started. And then Universal will have full control over the DC universe and its projects. Then we will get new details on what Universal plans are for the DC universe in films, TV and video games. So the whole Warner Bros. Situation is very messy right now. And it's not only messy with their films and movies, but their games too. Because it always does look like the games kind of take a backseat to the TVs and movies, especially with Warner Brothers. Also, not to mention that Warner Bros. Owns the patent for the Nemesis System, which is seen in the Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War games. And this would be an absolutely incredible thing to implement within the next Batman Arkham game. So if a Warner Bros. Game studio does end up making a Batman Arkham game or the future Batman Arkham game after Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, whether it is Rocksteady or someone else, we can expect that they would use the Nemesis System since it hasn't been used for a very long time. Also, there was a leak that was debunked by the gameplay trailer, the fact that Flash at the end of the game will reboot the entire universe. However, it seems like a lot of the details within that leak on Reddit didn't really add up to the latest gameplay reveal, the story reveal that they showed. So it seems like that may not happen at all within Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. But I hope that there are some hints and teasers for the future of the Batman Arkham universe. Also, the team behind the Batman Arkham franchise will have to take into account that the legend himself, Kevin Conroy, did pass away unfortunately, and he was the main Batman of this universe. So maybe rebooting this universe with a new Batman voice actor, with a new Batman actor, may be the way to go. But I think we have to wait till the end of Suicide Squad's story, kind of see what direction they may be heading in. Also, after the monumental success of Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1 and the Miles Morales games, shows that there is a desperate need for good quality superhero games in the video game market. Spider-Man 2 was the fastest selling PlayStation exclusive of all time, and I think without Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, there would be no Spider-Man from Insomniac. There's also this article from CBR.com that says 8 years after Arkham Knight, Rocksteady needs to make another Batman game. Rocksteady's Suicide Squad game proves that there's plenty of story potential left in the Arkhamverse, making it the best time for a Batman game. The article has a section on James Gunn which reads, James Gunn and DC have made their intentions for the future of their video game schedule very clear. With the launch of the new DC Cinematic Universe, Gunn has spoken on a desire for the games, TV shows and movies to be interconnected. That will mean that the events of a console title will have an impact on the big or small screen. Logistically, that seems like a massive challenge to overcome. Nonetheless, the ambition cannot be denied. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will be the last game in Rocksteady's Arkhamverse for now, and no announcements have been made about the future of the franchise. DC Cinematic schedule has proven that continuity shifts can really work. Joker and the Batman are both set outside the DCU, but the audience loves them. With these movies able to make narrative risks, what the video gaming strategy needs is a series that is allowed to do the same. More than ever, DC needs Rocksteady to return to a beloved property with a fan favorite character in the lead as an alternative to the ever expanded shared DCU. Variety and friendly competition can lead to fresh storytelling opportunities. The article also goes into the storyline of a successor taking over the role of the Batman in Dick Grayson or Damian Wayne, or even the Batman Beyond storyline. So there is so much potential to explore the Arkham universe for what it is right now. And again, all we can do is hope that the Suicide Squad isn't as bad as it looks, and it will continue the Arkham storyline in a positive and engaging way. We've also got this article from Game Rant that reads, Rocksteady Studios might always have a failsafe in its back pocket. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League may never be the game that fans want it to be, but Rocksteady will always have a failsafe ready to go. The article talks about how Suicide Squad hasn't had the best reception so far and how a lot of the characters' abilities look very samey. And it goes on to say that Rocksteady is in crisis mode, currently trying to fix everything about the game that fans had an issue with, but it might not be that simple. And although Suicide Squad may shake fans' belief in them, there is still one easy way that the studio can earn back its adoration. And it's of course by producing another Batman Arkham game, it might feel cheap, but many fans are clamoring for a brand new Batman Arkham game, and it's a surefire way to bring those fans back to Rocksteady's side. If done well, a new Batman Arkham game, or at least one set in the same universe surrounding its central characters, could easily remind fans of why they began to follow Rocksteady in the first place, restoring faith in a studio that's responsible for changing the superhero video game landscape for the better. Rocksteady was kind of like how Insomniac is now. They produce hit after hit after hit with their Batman Arkham games, and now unfortunately with the pre-release of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, it looks like already people are doubting Rocksteady. Only time will tell if their doubts will come into fruition, and maybe Suicide Squad ends up being a bad game. And if it does, hopefully they do turn route and make a Batman Arkham game, or something like a Superman game, a Flash game, something along those lines with that Rocksteady charm. So what does the future hold? Well, in terms of storyline, we're going to have to wait for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League to see just how that universe continues. Whether the game is a success or failure, hopefully we get some teasers about the future of the Batman Arkham universe or the next Rocksteady game. We're also most likely going to have to wait for answers with James Gunn in 2025 after the release of Creature Commandos and Superman Legacy to see what his plans are for video games. We could even potentially get those answers in 2024. But the big X factor is whether Warner Bros. Will sell their gaming division, Warner Bros. Games, or will they sell themselves, Warner Bros. Discovery, to Universal, which then gives all of DC to Universal, and what their plans are for the future. Of course, we can't speculate about that because they don't even own DC yet. Warner Bros. Has always felt for the last couple of years like a very shaky grounds company. So I wish we get more clarity on the upcoming DC games. I mean, there's even a Wonder Woman game that's coming out that was announced at the Game Awards in 2021 that we have no new details on. Everything right now just feels unstable. Whereas if we look at someone like Insomniac and Marvel, we know that the next game could be a Wolverine, there could be a potential Venom spin-off, a Miles game, and then Marvel Spider-Man 3. We kind of have like a roadmap of the future of the Insomniac Games universe, which is absolutely incredible. And not to mention EA's Iron Man and Black Panther open world game, Amy Hennig's Captain America and Black Panther World War II game, and just overall stability with Marvel games. And I know that was a plan from Warner Bros. They did take into consideration licensing out their DC IPs to other game developers instead of having their own games division, which only their game studios can make games for. But hopefully we get more details soon. We are covering the biggest upcoming games on this channel with Marvel's Spider-Man 2 updates alongside Marvel Spider-Man 3, Marvel's Wolverine, and also the upcoming Star Wars games, Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell, Prince of Persia, the Cyberpunk sequel, The Witcher 4, and the other Witcher games, and so much more. If you like that kind of stuff, if you like to keep in the know with all the video game stuff, news, updates, leaks, rumors, go ahead and subscribe, and I want to thank you so much for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, peace out, God bless, and I'll see you in one of my next videos. Take care, guys.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind.